Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a general reading for the sign of Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Aquarius, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Aquarius, I hope that you're doing well. I'm just gonna slightly, there we go. There's all sorts of weird distractions. This is actually the second time I've turned on the camera for you. The first time there were some distractions, and now I hear this little tapping. Somebody's hammering in my apartment building. But we're going to be using two decks for your reading today. The first one, the Heart Path Oracle cards for the overall energy, and a new deck for me, the Urban Tarot, which is amazing. So for Aquarians, last but not least, in this series of general readings, angel spirits, guides, what messages do you have for Aquarius, please? Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus? Thank you. Beautiful. Place of knowledge and unconditional love. Unlock and release the fear. I've never gotten this card from this deck in a reading before. It's absolutely magical. Suggests two hearts, though. Suggests two hearts. I don't know if I'm speaking to somebody who's a twin flame or has a very deep soul connection with someone. They could be at a distance from you. I definitely feel distance in this card. It's almost like this character in the green here is trying to connect with this other soul through synchronicities and animals and kind of dream state with the moon here. Place of knowledge and unconditional love. Unlock and release the fear. It's like I see this as water, but then there's space under here. It's very surreal. It's so annoying, that car sound, but it actually reminded, because I was looking at the bees, and you know, obviously I resonate with bee energy, but San Tarot, one of my favorite readers, when she talks about the bees, she talks about them in terms of interdimensional beings. They resonate at a frequency that is not just healing, but is seemingly otherworldly, because you know, bees' wingspans, their wings should not conceivably support their body weight. Their wings are very fragile, and bees are very heavy, and so they kind of defy physics. That's how she puts it. And I always think of that. I always also think of bees, you know, make honey, and so there's kind of sweet or delicious reward for all of our hard work. But there's, see these sprouts from the kind of, I don't know what they're called, aortic valves or whatever. They have a key, and one of the keys is unlocking the mystery of the moon. There's fairies here. There's like so much going on in this card. It's very strange too. I see this as either a shoreline or a racetrack. It's a little discombobulated. I'll be honest with you, Aquarius. It feels a little all over the place. There's almost too much going on, that the messages that are coming in are being pulled in many different directions. At the heart of it, and there are two hearts, and Spirit's just saying two hearts beat as one. At the heart of this card, I feel distance. A distance between you and somebody you care about. And you're trying to find comfort or solace in things that are like things that are like stand-ins for that relationship or stand-ins for that love. So, okay, I see a very specific scenario. Let's say you are a partner to somebody who is in the military and your partner is overseas. You might be missing them on a particular day and go to one of their favorite places to eat or to watch a sporting event or to take a walk, because the place, the situation reminds you of your person. And so even if your person, you know, is hard at work overseas, going to their favorite watering hole or going to their favorite, you know, ice cream shop or whatever it is, it gives you a little bit of connection to your person. And the fear, it says unlock and release the fear, you know, the fear that like there's, okay, very random. Spirit is bringing me this song. What is the name of that band? Oh, I'm really blanking on the name of the band. They sing the song More Than Words, but that's not the song that's coming into my head. More Than Words. What is that band called? Somebody, one of you knows it for sure. But they have another song. It's There's a Hole in My Heart that can only be filled by you. Thank you, Spirit. And this hole in my heart can be filled with the things I do. Those are the lyrics from that song. What is the name of that band, Spirit? Oh, my sister would be so mad at me. She's like, how could you not remember such and such? And it's like, I don't remember the name of the band. I feel like it's one word. Anyway, they sang More Than Words, but they also sang this other song. There's a hole in my heart that can only be filled by you. And this hole in my heart can be filled with the things I do. Wholehearted. It's kind of got this like, it's like a jig almost. It's got a very lively beat, and I can hear the music in my head. It's very lively. Like I keep doing this almost like a beat, like vibration, reverberation. The waves lapping on the shoreline. It's kind of saying to me that somehow, some way, your vibration is reaching your person and vice versa. I'm going to get 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier, past, present, and future. For Aquarius, please, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. For Aquarius. Okay. 3 more. Whole bunch of extra cards flipped out. All right, 3 extra cards flipped out. Let's look at them. This card has shown up for probably, if there are 12 zodiac signs, I would say it showed up for 7 of the readings. And I probably shuffle for 5 minutes straight before I even turn on the camera. This is the Temperance card, Major Arcana number 14, represented by the word art. Temperance is all about patience. It's all about transmutation. taking one state of being and turning it into another, right? The raw elements of paint and turning it into a masterpiece. Spirit just said, you are the masterpiece. You are the masterpiece of creation. You are the wind that blows through. I don't know what that means. I mean, you are an air sign, but it just felt, you are the wind that blows through. You are the wind that echoes, like your message. Your message echoes on the wind. This card came out in reverse, though, coupled with the Five of Cups in the upright. The word is disappointment. This can also talk about, you see all these broken dishes here. It can also talk about depression, having to pick up the pieces. Ace of Cups. Aces bring new from spirit. There's a sense here that you've been impatient with your progress. Like maybe you were going through a difficult time and you've been trying and trying and trying to heal from it. Spirit is showing me that it's almost like, don't give up hope. A new day is dawning. A new opportunity is going to come in that's going to really speak to you in a very soulful way. It's going to make sense. It's going to feel like a blessing, and you're going to take hold of it. But it's almost like, try to lift yourself up. Because when we're in this energy, Five of Cups is just needing to have a change of perspective. We look at 3 spilled cups. We look at spilled cups and we just think, what a mess. And this card is kind of saying, you know, because this also kind of can look like a mess too, depending on how you look at it. Spirit just said beautiful disaster. You are the masterpiece. You could think of yourself as a beautiful disaster, but Spirit is saying you are the masterpiece. Don't fret. Something really stunning is coming in for you. In the past energy, 2 cards of movement, significant movement in the past. The Chariot, Major Arcana, number 7, Cancer. Cancer. It's all about victory. It's this mastery over the light and the dark, the yin and the yang. The charioteer is like, runs at a breakneck pace. They don't let anything stop them. You are, in the past, you were undeterred. 6 of Swords, moving away from what no longer serves you. The word at the bottom here is science, and I think that's so fascinating. Because I talked about this card in reference to the Kundalini awakening. So you see this body here, and there's the head up here, shoulders here, and the serpent wrapped around the base of what would be a spine, because we see the heart here. This would be the spine. The Kundalini, or the serpent, rising through all the chakras in order to reach a kind of spiritual awakening, spiritual enlightenment. You could have really been working on your spiritual ascension in the past energy. I think that's precisely what it is. What do we need to do to have, you know, how does one ascend spiritually? Well, unlocking and releasing fear. Looking at our triggers and our traumas, the things that have disappointed us, the things that have been neglected is the word. Thank you, Spirit. I was like, been not dealt with. I'm like, no, there's a better way to say that. Things that have been neglected. You know, the Spirit is reminding me of this reality as I'm thinking of the word neglect, that people in relationships, parental, sibling, friendships, romantic, when that word neglect comes into play, you have to be really careful. Because when we're neglecting people, it's the same as abuse for some people. Not in terms of, well, when we neglect a child, that's abuse. Ooh, some spirit just kind of came in here. So this is resonating for somebody. I felt a pressure over here. When we neglect a child, that's abuse. The child doesn't know any better and cannot always articulate themselves. When we neglect another adult, an adult that we supposedly love or that we are with, it can feel like trauma. It can reside in the body. It's like disease. And Spirit's saying it just like that. It's like a disease. To feel shut out and alone and forgotten sometimes is worse than having an illness. Right? This is very potent, and Spirit wants me to tell you this. So, when you are neglecting your inner child, right? What did I just say? Neglecting a child is abuse. There's the inner child within you. You neglect the traumas of that inner child. It's like you experience that neglect over and over and over again. And in some senses, we can perpetuate that. This is just what I'm channeling. I'm not a doctor. Seek professional advice if you need to. But this is the message that Spirit is giving to me right now. But this is, what do I see in your past energy? Like a lot of growth. Like this is somebody who's dealt with it. This is somebody who's working on it every single day. And because they're working on it every single day, they're seeing progress. Can I have a clarifier for the past energy, please? Number 10 of Pentacles. Okay. Man, I'm tired of seeing this card. 3 of Swords. This has probably come out for just as many readings. I don't know. There's 78 cards in this deck, and it's just like, why do I keep seeing this? It's maybe it has to do with Mars and Cancer right now. I don't know. Mars is in a weird spot, and like people are in their feelings. People are in their hurt, which is, it is what it is, right? Like what did I just say? Like if you don't deal with that pain, it's just gonna rear its ugly head. So I asked for a clarifier, and I see this. I mean, this is the heartbreak card. Really dealing with some of the toughest energies within you. The ones that keep you, it's like keep you separated from yourself. Dealing with those emotions, dealing with those hurts. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. The places, this is the wealth card. Has the word wealth at the bottom. 10 of Pentacles is abundance in all of its forms, whether financially, good health, family, community, friendship, job, just a general attractiveness. But when the card is in reverse, it's this lack mentality. Like, where are all these things? And like you could have these things, but if you're mentally, you don't feel like you have them, then you don't have them. right? Like, I remember my ex once saying to me, like, my ex made a lot of money. He made 6 figures, well over 6 figures. I mean, maybe that's not a lot of money to some people, but to me at that time, that was a lot of money. It's still a lot of money. And he always used to say to me, and at the time I was making significantly less than him, and he always used to say, yeah, but, you know, I'm so poor. I'm actually poor, you know. I'm poor. And I would look at him like, what planet are you living on? Like, I love him very much, my twin, but I'm just like, what planet are you living on where you think making 6 figures makes you poor? Well, there's inflation, sure. But he wasn't just talking about money. It was his mentality. He always felt like consistently 5 of Cups. Have you ever been around somebody like that? Are you that person right now? Who just, I don't want to like be into spiritual bypassing or anything. Like, oh, you know, I'm completely destitute, but spirit is good. I'm very grounded. Like, I'm not going to say that. Like, when times are tough, times are tough. You can call it what it is. We can also be grateful too. There's a nice balance between both. But there could have been a moment in your past, your deep past, Spirit just said, deep, like childhood, where you were experiencing a lot of trauma and a lack of resources, whatever form that takes. And really trying to understand, like, I'm not I'm not in that headspace anymore, and I don't need to continue that narrative as an adult. I can experience victory. So this is kind of what you're grappling with in the past energy. In the present energy, number 18, the moon, Pisces, major arcana. The moon illuminates in the darkness. And we have the moon here. The moon is going to unlock the secrets for you. So there's something about it. Maybe look up the next full moon from the time that you watch this video and start manifesting underneath the full moon. Make moon water. Create a ritual around it. You know, ask spirit. It's like asking spirit for answers before you go to sleep at night. Ask the moon for answers. Kind of allow it. It's like, I see somebody kind of coaxing the answer out. It's like seducing the moon. I don't know where this is going, but I want to say it. Seducing the energy of the moon. So, sorry, I'm just going to move my camera just a second. Because, you know, that's going to... The Moonology deck was underneath my camera, and so Spirit is asking me to pull a card from it, the Moonology deck. I haven't used this deck in forever. For Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, what message do you have from the Moonology deck? Full moon in Capricorn. Wow. Take a reality check. Wow. That's kind of harsh, Spirit, but it is what it is. I felt that presence again over my right ear. Full moon in Capricorn. Take a reality check. Well, it's crazy too because there are all sorts of moon, it's all about moon phases, right? So I didn't have to pull a card, or a card didn't have to flip out that was full. It could have been half moon, quarter moon, crescent moon, waxing, waning, gibbous, blah, 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 and it was full. So take that as a synchronicity and a sign to listen to that. I'm actually going to read from the book for you. I have never, I don't think I've ever used this book. Full moon in Capricorn. This card has two sides to it, literally and metaphorically. If you've been worrying about something, the good news is that you shouldn't waste another moment worrying, as this won't help. Some things only happen once, and that can be really good news. If you're wondering about how something you're keen on is going to turn out, this card could be a sign that you've hit a roadblock. If you want to change that, you're going to need to put in an extra effort with your manifesting work. Find a balance between facing your reality and being kind to yourself and others. If you're not happy with the message of this card, use the old trick of finding the best thought you can about your situation and go from there, right? If you're unhappy with this card, look at the situation you're unhappy with that it's referencing for you, and it's going to be different for everybody, and think about the best thing about that situation, show gratitude for it, and then change the energy around it. So that was just an aside. It's clarified by the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Three of Pentacles talks about collaboration and co-creation with spirit. The word at the bottom says works, and it's in reverse. I feel like you've been really trying to get back to yourself, that you've been disconnected from your soul space for a long, long time, maybe your whole life, and you're just now trying to get back to it with this Kundalini awakening, this ascension. Let me get a clarifier for the Three of Pentacles in reverse, because it's like when the Three of Pentacles in reverse, it kind of tells me that, like, you're not talking to spirit, you're not asking for what you want. Maybe you are talking to spirit, but you're, oh, this is interesting. So my day job, I run a team, and I'm also kind of a mentor to other people, but some of the best advice that I think that I have is some of the best advice that was given to me, and I just regurgitate or channel, however we can say channel, which is anybody can complain, anybody can bring a problem up to their boss or their supervisor or their parent or whatever. But instead of just bringing the problem to somebody else's attention, bring up the problem and then bring up some possible solutions. So if my team had a problem with something that I was doing, a decision that I made, which it's not to say they haven't, instead of just saying we have a problem with that, it's like, cool, you have a problem with that? Give me something better. Give me a better solution. And if they can, then we go with their solution. I don't need to have control over that. I don't need to be fixated on having control. I mean, I like to have control, sure. But I also respect them. I respect my team enough to know that, like, if they brought something up to me and then they brought a solution, it means that they thought about it. It means that they considered it. It means that it matters to them. And they're not just bringing up a problem to bring up a problem. So Spirit is giving me that example with reference to you and how perhaps you talk to them, right? Spirit, I haven't found love yet. Like, where are they and why haven't you brought them to me? And then Spirit could say, well, what have you done to help yourself with that? There's plenty of fish in the sea of life. And there have been people that we've brought towards you, and either you rejected them or you judged them or you whatever. What are you doing to change your circumstances? because we keep opening doors and you keep not walking through them or whatever. It's just an example. And this is not to criticize you, Aquarius. It's just an example of where sometimes the Three of Pentacles in reverse, when we don't co-create with Spirit, maybe we have a good reason. Maybe it's just like, I just want to figure this out on my own. But to that I would say, you know, Spirit is here. It's not to say they're here to serve you. Far from it. They're here to guide you. They're your guides. You have free will and can do what you want. But Spirit guides are here to advise, not to do it for you, to advise, to help, to guide. So, in the future potential, the Nine of Wands, and the card says fortitude. This is like a postal worker. Fortitude. It's funny, I joked in a couple of readings ago, I got this card and I said, okay, what's the motto of the U.S. Postal Service? It's like, come rain, rain, heat, sleet, and snow. We're there to serve, or I don't know what the motto is, but it's something like that. Through all kinds of weather conditions, we will be here delivering the mail, delivering the message, the messages. You could be a postal worker. You could know somebody who is. That feels significant, delivering the messages. The message in this card is fortitude, strength, inner strength. Us keeping calm and carrying on. That's what Spirit just showed me. We're not giving up, even though sometimes we may want to. We're not giving up even though the road may be fraught with disappointment and confusion. It is clarified, and this makes total sense to me, the number one card, the Mage or Magician in the reverse. The Magician in the reverse. Magician is Major Arcana number 1, the power of all 4 suits of the tarot. The Magician typically has all they need to manifest. And weren't we just talking about manifesting under the full moon? That's important. That's a confirmation for me. Right? We're seducing the moon. We're coaxing out. Can I get a card of advice for Aquarius, please? Another 3. That's three threes in your reading. That's a tremendous synchronicity. You may see 333. And when you do, because you will, talk to your spirit guides right there and then in that moment. Every time I see a synchronicity, I thank them. Every single time. Abundance. You see? This was advice from Spirit. It's like, keep the faith. There will be celebration. There will be abundance. It's just needing to have the belief that it shall be so. So that's your reading, Aquarius. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Aquarius.